So, hi guys, welcome to episode number 5 of the Field Football Podcast, that is known as 12th Man Podcast. And in today's segment, we are talking about Premier League games of Game Week 11. That is, we will cover the 10 games that happened this game week. So, starting from the first game, which happened in this week's schedule, that is Stoke City and Leicester City. Let's throw some light on that game and talk about the what happened there. The game ended in a 2-2 draw. That is between the two teams. And joining me is Gentian, and I'm Miranik. So let's start about that game, Gentian. What are your views about that game?
Leicester game was very fiercey, and it was very good one. And it had also the the main referee was subbed. So the main referee was Madley Robert. Robert Madley. I just reversed it. And it was replaced by John Moss during the game. So this game actually was a good one because it was a typical English Premier League game, and also a lot of goals, 4 goals in like 80 minutes. I liked how Leicester scored the first, not the first. I think the second goal was very good with a brilliant counter attack, and Mahrez just puts it in the top corner. Stoke did counter with Peter Crouch goal 13 minutes later. He was subbed on really for I think it was Ramadan Sobi, the second Egyptian player, the third or something on the league, and he was subbed in. Crouch was just 4 minutes in. Peter Crouch just bangs on him.
Just like
typical header goal.
Yeah,
typical header goal.
Yeah, just like any super sub will do, getting in and scoring a goal. So yeah, he's still got something in him. Some football is there in Peter Crouch still.
Yeah, I think this match was pure fire, and it was a match to watch for Leicester fans, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the Shaqiri goal could have been avoided. Since the side passing from Choupo-Moting was a very easy one, and Maguire really could have intercepted that. But a draw is a draw, and Leicester should take this draw really. Peter Schmeichel, not Peter Schmeichel. Why am I mentioning Peter Schmeichel? Kasper Schmeichel has done a massive game there. 4 saves by him. So it is 5 saves by him. He did pull some saves there. So I think could have gone better for Leicester. Man of the match for me would be either
Peter Crouch
or Shaqiri.
Yeah, because he saved his team, and they are some points above the relegation zone. That is, they have 12 points from 11 games, and they are at 14th. That is Stoke City I'm talking about, and the second team, Leicester City, are just 2 places above the Stoke City. That is, they are on 12th position with with 13 points from 11 games. So Leicester are just doing decent after they were in the relegation zone. So things are pretty better for Leicester City, I would say. And how would you say about this guy, Jamie Vardy? He has scored 6 goals in 11 games so far, and I think he isn't looking so bad. Is he?
No, he's not looking so bad, because that's what a player for that type of team like Leicester should do. He should just bang goals just to secure his team to not get relegated and most likely be on the middle of the table. I think Leicester, after after appointing Claude Puel, has done good results, really.
Yeah.
3 draws, 2 wins. The last win being against Everton with a clean sheet as well.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, just like I said, the draw with Stoke could have been avoided. Yeah, I think Claude Puel is doing a very good job at Leicester for the moment, and I think Leicester is going up some places. I mean, I can see them on 9th place, 10th place.
And I think
time will know.
Yeah, and I also think Jamie Vardy should try and move on to another club for the next season. If his form will be, I mean, if he scores 10, 15 goals, he can surely leave the Leicester City and go to some maybe top 7 or top 8 clubs in the league. That would be best for him. So let's see what happens to Leicester City and Jamie Vardy especially.
Yeah.
And let's move on to the second match of this game week, which was between Huddersfield Town and West Bromwich Albion. The game which Huddersfield Town won 1-0, and that was surprising because you would expect West Brom to be at least scoring a goal and drawing such games, but they lost the game.
Yeah, they lost this game after Van La Parra scored the goal after the 44th minute. After that, nothing happened except for that red card from Schindler. Yeah. He got his second yellow, and
I think
all I can see. Yeah, go on.
And I think it's a fine win for Huddersfield after getting smashed by Liverpool at the game which they lost 3-0, I think. Right?
Yeah, I mean, in the last 5, Huddersfield has done 3 losses and 2 wins. One being with Manchester United, of course, the well-known,
the famous win for them.
The famous one, yeah. And the fifth match, being a win against West Brom 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, Huddersfield is surprising me really because I never see Huddersfield going up after their first time being in the Premier League.
Even their manager David Wagner said that I wasn't expecting us to be in the Premier League for next 10 years, and so that's a big achievement for the team itself when your manager is saying like that.
Yeah, and when the manager is surprised himself, imagine what are we doing right now?
Yeah, so
are we amazed by this team?
Of course, we are amazed by this team, and we are looking forward to how this team will go in this season in the Premier League, and they can surely finish in the top 10 if they keep going like this. So that was the second game, and now let's move on to the third game, which is quite a shocker because Newcastle United at home lost the game at home against Bournemouth. That is 1-0. They lost again.
Yeah, I think Newcastle should improve as a team in general. But judging by their form, they're not doing well enough. Since that draw with Liverpool at the beginning of October, they have drawn against Southampton, won against Palace, of course, Palace being the bottom team in the bottom of the table. And they have lost 2 in a row against Burnley and Bournemouth. I think Newcastle needs to improve as a team in general, and the weak point being the defense. Also, they need to improve the attack force. I think the midfield is going places for Newcastle, but I think they can do better.
And it was just a cheeky win for Bournemouth because they won the match in 92nd minute. So
the last minute,
so Newcastle,
the last minute, So
injury time. That's same like the last minute. So Newcastle must be feeling weird about that result, and they are right now at 11th position with 14 points and zero goal difference. And sorry, not Huddersfield Town. I was mentioning about Bournemouth. They are at the number 17th position with 10 points. So things aren't that great for Bournemouth, but yeah, Newcastle United can do much better than what they have been doing lately. So let's see what happens to both the teams as the season goes on. Now, talking about the fourth game, that is Southampton, and this was also a shocking defeat for Southampton because they lost against Burnley.
Mm.
But with the way the Burnley has been in this season, I think it's a fair result for Burnley and Southampton.
Oh yeah, I think Burnley deserved that since Southampton is not having great times really. Uh, I mean, the team is seriously suffering. Gabbiadini is not a trustable option up front. I think Shane Long would do. Charlie Austin, and Gabbiadini doesn't play as a lone striker. He needs support. Shane Long would do that perfectly. Although he's slow, he's slow. He doesn't have pace.
Yeah.
I think he would do perfectly.
But problem with Shane Long is that he's often injured, and that doesn't help Southampton.
He's injury prone, yeah. So that makes
and I think
sense.
They need to buy a better forward for the team. Because
they should because Gabbiadini cannot hold an entire season alone.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And
Burnley is seriously surprising me. Like 7th place, 19 points with 10 goals scored and 9 conceded.
Yes.
These 11 matches. Their next match is against Swansea, so I think this is going to be a match to watch for Burnley, since it is Swansea, it is 90th place. They can bottle it up, and Swansea not having that good time, really.
Yeah.
They just lost against Brighton.
Exactly.
Later on.
Yeah, exactly. And just you mentioned about Swansea. So our next next match to discuss is the same team, that is Swansea City. They lost to Brighton and Hove Albion. That is, they lost 1-0 at their home. So yeah, Brighton and Hoves are also doing reasonably well this season. That is the second team to have come from the championship. So what about this game, Gentian?
Brighton has secured the place from the championship, being on top of the table of the championship, and Huddersfield was the one to get promoted through playoffs. But anyway, Brighton, Hove and Albion, I can see them doing better than this. Not more. I can see Brighton going up at 7th place at their peak, and then they will fall down slowly. They will go up to 7th place to go to 9th place or 11th. I can see them on 11th.
Maybe between 10 to 15th they can stay.
Yeah, they can stay. I think they've gotten these points just to secure the staying on the top level league in England.
Exactly. That is avoiding the relegation. And as far as I can see, all the three promoted teams are doing well in the league so far. But with the busy schedule, that thing can really hit hard on you. Then we will have to see how things go with these three teams. So yeah, Brighton and Hoves won against Swansea, which was again Swansea something that Swansea didn't expect from that team. But yeah, a win is a win, and Swansea are right now at 19th place, and they must be really disappointed with the way things have happened with them. So yeah, now talking about the next game, which was West Ham United against Liverpool, and West Ham just lost this game. They were so terrible. So yeah, it's a good win for Liverpool if you're a Liverpool fan. What do you?
Yeah, of course.
So what about this game? Liverpool, I think Liverpool did really well, and they needed this win to be targeting the top four position in the top four. So it was a good win. Liverpool were all over the field in this game. Although in the starting few minutes, West Ham United were doing reasonably fine.
Liverpool versus West Ham. West Ham really tried it in the first minutes. Since they are at home, they needed this win. They needed to improve the form. But this Liverpool is Liverpool, and you cannot hold a defensive tactic against that kind of attack that Liverpool has.
Yeah,
Pacey enough, pacey enough to score.
and how
Maybe finishing enough.
and how about that first counter attack goal? I was
Yeah, that was amazing.
mesmerized to see that goal.
I was legit amazed by that goal.
Yeah,
It
and
was pure fire. Like,
it was a well crafted move from Sadio Mane, who I mean, he wasn't even he was like 50% fit for the game, and he gave 2 assists in that game. So it tells a lot about the
I mean, yeah, I mean that's an improvement from Mane, really. I expected Mane to do bad, not that bad, but
average.
average. Yeah, not that bad really, but average would do. I thought Mane would do would assist one, and he did assist one.
Yeah, and ended up assisting twice. Yeah.
I also predicted one of the defenders would score. It would be either Gomez or Klavan, but it was Matip who scored one. So yeah, the Liverpool game was amazing. Liverpool were dominating and were playing around really after the fourth goal.
Yeah, although things looked a bit, concerning when Lanzini scored that goal on the slip up of Joe Gomez. That was a weird goal to concede, but nevertheless, they scored in the next minute, and Liverpool were back in the lead with the 2 goals, and finally they won the game with 4 goals to 1, which surely I think was a great win for Liverpool, because they have been criticized so much lately in the past for the kind of performance they had against Tottenham and Manchester City. But let's forget that. Liverpool are currently in the 5th place with just 2 losses and 4 draws, with going with the 5 wins with 19 points and 4 goal difference. So yeah, that was that was the 6th game that we discussed, and things aren't looking great for West Ham, and they have recently hacked the manager, sacked the manager. Sorry.
Oh, they sacked Village.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. New fact for you, boys.
Yeah, they need to set the things right now, because they are in the relegation zone, and they should improve
the management.
Exactly. So let's talk about the 7th game that happened. That was Tottenham playing Crystal Palace. What are your views about that game? Because Tottenham won that game by just a margin of 1-0.
Yeah, I think Palace would have won that match. Zaha missed a sitter, so Tottenham had a hard time beating Palace.
Mm-hmm.
But they did secure the win with Heung-min Son scoring a goal. And Tottenham are having a great time.
They surely are.
At the 3rd place. Being at the 3rd place.
Tied on points with Manchester United.
Yeah, just with a goal difference being lower than Manchester's.
Yes.
I think Tottenham would be no more than the 3rd place. Or they can fall down, since they have Arsenal next. And really, I think Arsenal is going to do something against them. Is to fire up a bit.
Yeah, because there is an international break for 2 weeks, and things can go either way after the international breaks. So let's see what happens with that game on 18th of November. But before that game comes, let's talk about the another game that happened. This was a big game, and people were expecting good things from Arsenal, perhaps, but they again disappointed, and Manchester City won that game with 3 goals to 1.
City did play good. City was expecting to win this match. Of course, they are at the top of the table. They had an advantage really to United with five with I think 2 or 3 points before the City game, before the Arsenal game, and really I thought City would lose in the first place, but watching that game really made my heart warm a bit.
Yeah,
Since City played good football, and Arsenal
and they are
just
leading by 8 points
they
right now.
yeah Arsenal. The funny thing is, Arsenal tried to get the advantage on the first minutes with Kolasinac being in the wings, being in the flanks, crossing one in, but
Yeah.
really
But
the finishing from us.
I was disappointed with the way that Arsenal conceded the first goal. The way Koscielny reacted to that passing between De Bruyne and I don't know who was another player.
Fernandinho.
Yeah, but
The one who's-
that was pretty. I mean, I was disappointed. Why would you concede a goal like that from doing such a silly mistake?
Really, he couldn't follow the action. Really, it was way too fast than he thought.
Yeah, ball just went past him, and he was like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, and that's what happened really on the first goal. The 1-2 passes between De Bruyne and Fernandinho were just fast, and Koscielny didn't follow it. So
Yeah.
how Arsenal conceded the first.
Yeah, but Arsenal were, I think they were just above the average. But what affected the performance of the team is their midfield, I think, because they didn't provide
They didn't have the midfield.
I saw Alexis.
And also,
Yeah,
Go on.
I also saw Alexis Sanchez asking for ball, and none of the midfielders were looking at him. I mean, come on, if your striker is that quality, you should be passing a ball. At least try passing that ball to him, and he can create something good.
Actually, Arsenal's formation was average. And I saw Kolasinac being the most active player for Arsenal, including Iwobi a bit. Lacazette, who scored the goal, was very active in the game. Kohelin was very decent for Arsenal.
Yeah, I think there was controversy about the starting 11 as well for the Arsenal. Why would
Yeah,
you?
because they started with three in the back and then changed the formation when the game continued with 3-4.
Yeah, and
It was with 3-4-2-1, and then it switched up to 4-3-2-1.
talk about madness. And talk about madness. Why would you bench Lacazette? What is even going on with Arsene Wenger?
Yeah, I mean, benching Lacazette, it's such a big match.
Mhm.
It's pretty mad right now because you need to win. If you need to win, of course, you
Of
need
course.
to put him up. You need to line him up.
And he proved him wrong. Yeah.
He's also a prime striker. That's the whole thing, because Sanchez doesn't play as a striker really.
Yeah, he's more.
Sanchez likes to to do some maneuvers
Yeah,
in the wings.
create chances, provide something, provide assist.
Yeah.
And Lacazette surely proved Wenger wrong again because he came on and he scored a goal.
And scored. Yeah, I scored directly.
Yeah,
As soon as he came in, he scored. Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
yeah. I was holding my head like, why would you do that? Why won't you play a player like Lacazette in your team?
Like legit. 10 minutes since he came on, he scored a goal.
Yeah.
That's the kind of striker that Arsenal needed.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I think it's down to Wenger because he's messing
yeah,
up with
he's
the
the
team.
coach.
Yeah,
He's
he's
the coach, and he is actually responsible for any of these losses for Arsenal.
yes, exactly. And Arsenal fans must be hoping that something like this doesn't happen in future and they can drive to be in top four. But the fight is pretty much head on head among the teams who are targeting the top four. So we will have to see what happens in the Tottenham game that Arsenal will be playing on 18th of November. Let's see what
Mhm.
happens there. And now moving on to our second last game in this podcast, that is Chelsea playing Manchester United, and that is an amazing win for Chelsea.
Yeah, it was a deserved one as well because Man United didn't try hard enough to get into the Chelsea box.
Or were they just
Uh,
parking the bus like they?
yeah, not like every match, but
Okay.
this one was legit. This one was legit parking the bus. They were trying to hold the draw, but that assist from Aspilicueta and that goal from Morata denies the hopes of Mourinho
Yeah,
for getting
and
this one.
Morata's header, I think, seized the bus.
Yeah, seize the bus indeed. Um, yeah, I mean Chelsea dominated the match, of course, being
Mhm.
at home.
And and what
Being
a
at home
perfect, yeah,
makes you feel comfortable.
and what a perfect header
Yeah,
that was from Morata.
yeah. He curved that one in
Hmm.
into the top left corner.
Yeah,
It was pure fire. I mean, the assist, the cross one,
and
the
the
cross
finishing,
from
yeah,
the
as
cross, the finishing was perfect. Like,
yeah, and that's all Chelsea needed to secure the 3 points from that game. So yeah, United, who were targeting the first position, they are now lagging behind with 8 points.
yeah, with 8 points behind City, and most likely, if they lose the next one, which is Newcastle, which probably they won't, but
Hmm.
who knows? That's what football is for.
Yeah,
And so Liverpool has a chance really to catch on top two.
yeah, Liverpool
Uh,
surely have a chance because Arsenal are playing
Arsenal are playing
Tottenham,
Tottenham,
and Chelsea will be
so
playing
Chelsea,
Liverpool after
West
that.
Brom.
Yeah,
Yeah, West Brom is next for Chelsea.
and after that there is Manchester Derby coming up in December. So yeah,
Ooh, oh, some mad fixtures going on.
yeah. So there will be,
Southampton.
yes. So there will be some shuffling of the points surely in the league. Let's see what happens. And now talking about the last game of this week, that was Everton who won against Watford, and that was I mean, I didn't expect Everton to be winning that game, but they eventually won it.
They were 2-0 down, actually. They were 2-0 down to Watford. And then they came back with goals of Niasse, Calvert-Lewin, and Leighton Baines. This game had a drama really because it had 12 minutes stoppage time and cleverly missing the penalty on the 11th minute.
Yes.
So that was a match to forget for
Watford
cleverly.
Watford must be kicking themselves for that miss in the ending minutes of the game.
Yeah. I still don't know the reason why they put 12 minutes as a stoppage time. Maybe
Hmm.
it was because of the Doucouré's injury.
Yeah,
Uh, Probably, most likely, like that. Must have been a horrific
yeah.
injury for Doucouré.
Must have been because there were 8 minutes stoppage time in the match where Ederson got kicked on the face by Sadio Mane. So I think there must be some reason for 12 minutes stoppage time.
Yeah, I see. I see. Even Gomez got injured on that match. The goalkeeper of Watford.
Mhm.
He got injured as well, so that explains why
Yeah.
they had such drama.
Yeah, and
Uh,
the win for Everton took them to out of relegation zone because they were inside the relegation because before this game week, and now they are at 15th position with 11 points from 11 games. And the
yeah,
other team, that is Watford, they are right now at ninth position with 15 points from 11 games. So yeah, it's a good result for Everton because they came up. And
yeah, they came up and they need to appoint the manager because
yeah.
the actual one, I don't see him staying long enough.
Yeah, and
Really.
and Everton are really in the talks with, as far as I can see right now, they are in talks with Big Sam to appoint him as a manager. So that could be something, maybe a good news for Everton.
Yeah, but and then old news for Premier League.
Yeah, Big Sam coming up and saving the teams like he's expert at that. So yeah, Everton are surely looking to not go into the relegation zone for the future in this season. So that was the last game in our podcast, and we are pretty much done for this one. Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. We will be back with few more podcasts in this 14 days period of international break, where we will be covering the random topics and sharing you our insights on that. So thanks for now, and it's goodbye from both of us.
Bye.